Thank thank you, Rajeshji, and good evening, everyone. It has been a pleasure going ahead with Navaratri descriptions. And in fact, it was really a little sad yesterday when I couldn't make up to the day and because of ill health. But then Ambal's grace, I am back, as Mr. Rajesh had rightly said. And there is a coincidence in this, which I was thinking after yesterday's day was over. Because from the day 6 of Navaratri, when we have the Sashtya Devata, which is as we had rightly seen earlier for the sixth day, if you remember the deity of the day. And from the day 6 to the day 9th is the time in Navaratri in which during the time of which when we had the slaying of Mahishasura, Shumbhanishumba, Daktabija, Chandamunda, and the main legends which we have heard about, the main mythology which we have heard about. These were the days when Ambal's major slaying of the demonic forces happened. Though, of course, earlier when Trikuta invoked and we had from the first day of Navaratri where Kalakeyas, 60,000 Kalakeyas were annihilated and Banasura was annihilated and a number of other Asuras. But the main Asuras, the stories of which we hear, that is the slaying of Mahishasura to Chandamunda, Nishumba, Shumbha Nishumba, Raktabija, the main demonic forces, the main chakra demonic forces which are there in a human being, annihilated by Ambal and the positive forces to reach us to the blissful chakra elevation and blissfulness. So here, the sixth day, when the Sashtya Devata we completed with Katyayani, the protector deity, who was the main one who was a result and slaying of Mahishasura, which happened through her. And the day 7, which is very important following that, that is yesterday when we had Kalaratri, the deity Kalaratri. And here we have the first slide describing Kalaratri. Ma Kalaratri, the synonym of her being Mahakali. Mahakali, a form which is very ferocious, full of energies of Shakti, as you can see in this slide. Ferocious as you see the form, with all the ayudhas, and also known as Mahakali by her form, and the color of Parvati, goddess Parvati, which turned different, bluish, darkish in color, which became Mahakali, more ferocious, and riding on a donkey. Though ferocious, having the Abhaya Mudra and having all the Shubha Phalas for the Bhaktas who worship her, the Bhaktas who think of her. Why? Because she clears off all the sluggish energies in us, giving us the activity and energy to fight out adverse situations. And that is the reason we call her Mahakali, removing the Kala, that is the negativities and the adverse times, and bringing in all the prosperity and energy into you, the zeal and enthusiasm into you to get into any activity for a successful, blissful achievement. That is Kalaratri Mata. And we have the second slide here where we could see the Dhyana Sloka of Kalaratri. Here in the slide, you can see Ekaveni Japa Karnapurna Nagna Karastitha Lambostitha Karnikari Talabhairava Sharirini Vamapadolla Salloha Latakanta Kabhushana Vardhana Murdhadvaja Krishna Kalaratriya Bhayankari Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Ma Kalaratri Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. So here we invoke the deity Kalaratri, the seventh day deity of Navaratri, to give us all the energy and enthusiasm to begin the day and days ahead to go with full of success and energy to complete all our tasks in the right and successful way. Coming to the next slide, here we have the temple, the Shaktipitha of Kalaratri, again in Varanasi, Incidentally, we have noticed from the day one that most of the Navaratri deities have their Shakti Pitas in Varanasi. And Varanasi being the holiest, no doubt why Varanasi has been named as the holiest place in this world. Because lot of Shakti Pitas, lot of the positive energies, lot of temples, lot of worship places of various deities and invoking happens in Varanasi, where you have the famous Kumbh Mela and things related to that nearby. Now coming to the next slide where we have the slokas glorifying Kalaratri in Lalita Sasnama, in relation to Lalita Sasnama. The first sloka being Kalaratriadi Shaktyoga Vridha Snigdodana Priya. You can see the first two lines here. If when you read it, Kalaratriadi Shaktyoga Vridha Snigdodana Priya. Kalaratri, He Kalaratri, Shaktyoga, Shakti Yoga Vrita. When you split the words, full of energy, Shakti. Hey Kalaratri Ma, full of energy you are by the yogic powers which are surrounding you. Yoga Vrita. Shakti Yoga Vrita. Vrita is surrounding. Snigdhodana Priya. What is Snigdhodana? Snigdho is the Sanskrit word for ghee. Snigdhodana Priya. Who is having a lot of affinity, who is having a lot of liking, the one who likes ghee mixed rice, Snigdhodana Priya. Just like you have Haridranaika Rasika and Dugdana, which are the lemon rice and the curd rice Nevedyas for different deities. Here, Kalaratri is having the Nevedya and a Priya for Snigdhodana Priya. So let us invoke her with Snigdhodana in our mind to bring her into our mind to give us all the energy and Shakti. Let us be surrounded by her Shakti. Let us be surrounded by the aura and Shakti of our chakras, which get ignited, which get into emergence, which get into activity. Mahavirendra Varadha. Mahavirendra, the one who Varadha, who blesses with all the boons of success. Mahavirendra, to all the enlightened, to all the courageous souls. Rakhinyambha Swarupini, who is in the form of Rakhinyamba, Rakini. Rakini is another synonym for her. Rakini indicating the energies, energy, Urja, Ushma, Rakhinya, which is the energy in Sanskrit. Coming to the next sloka, how she is in her colors. Raktavarna Mamsanishta. Raktavarna. Raktavarna is the color of blood. The venic blood, the arterial blood. See, there are two differences here. The venous blood in you is what gets into getting purified inside your body through your, that is science, through your, from the pulmonary vein, through your lungs, to the pulmonary artery, to the Anahatabja chakra, giving you life. That is a heart. This is science. The same thing here. The medical sciences is clearly mentioned, and the body and the aura is mentioned here. Rakta Varna. You see, when it is mentioned Rakta Varna, usually Rakta has to be, blood has to be red in color. But the venous blood is full of bluish color because it's impure, it's not oxygenated. But then when it goes inside, Mamsanishta, she likes the Mamsa. She likes the Mamsa means what is the meaning here? Mamsa is flesh, the body inside. So the Rakta Varna gets into Mamsanishta. Once it gets inside to from the pulmonary vein, going through your chakras, going through your body and getting purified through your Mamsa, Gudhana Prithamanasa. Gudha is Jagari. Gudha in Sanskrit is Jagari. Gudhana Pritamanasa. Here Ambal as Kalaratri is depicted to be having an affinity, a liking to Gudana, rice mixed with Jaggery. What is Jaggery in science? Here again, science is mentioned here. Jaggery is a product which gives you iron to the body, giving you the purity to your blood because it brings in more hemoglobin into your body. So your blood gets more purified and oxygenized. So here the process of your circulatory system is clearly given out. So what does it indicate indirectly? Your circulatory system becomes more active. Your circulation of blood in the body becomes more active. And that is why your body gets energized. When circulation in a body, human body or any species gets activated, that is when you get activated overall and energized and you are able to work. And that is the strength, that is the Shakti Yoga Vrita. So you are surrounded by that Shakti, and that is Kalaratri. So she makes your circulatory system more stronger and more regulated, correcting your circulatory problems, bringing in the energy in you through the venous blood, getting purified more faster and getting into the arterial blood and regulating your circulations without any blocks in your chakras and your body throughout from the Muladhara chakra, where she is the Swamini of your Muladhara chakra. So here, Muladhara Chakra, again, when we had the first session of Aura Sciences, we were mentioning about Muladhara Chakra being the root chakra, as it is named in English, and root meaning the seat of your all emotions, the seat of your all desires, and from where the Kundalini energy starts to flow. And if you enhance it through your chakras, you reach out to the Sahasrara, equilibrating yourself to become a superhuman in intelligence, achievements, and blissfulness and purity, and getting to the highest spiritual levels also together. This is what is the purpose of invoking the deity Kalaratri, because Kalaratri is the Swamini of the Muladhara Chakra. Samastha Bhakta Sukatha, blessing all the Bhaktas, Lakinyambha Swarupini. Lakini is the meaning, having a synonym in Sanskrit to the word Lakini, meaning the flow, Lakinyambha Swarupini, the flower of energy, Lakinyambha Swarupini. Now coming to the next slide, where we have the third sloka, again explaining about the qualities and naming actually the Namavali of Kalaratri in different words. Maheshwari, Mahakali. As I had mentioned in the beginning itself, Kalaratri's synonym mainly is Mahakali because she removes all the Kala in us. Kali Kalmashanashini. So Maheshwari, Mahakali, Mahagrasa, Mahasana. It is adding adjectives and glorifying Ma Kalaratri to invoke her in various Namavalis. Maheshwari, Mahakali, Mahagrasa, Mahasana, seated in the Mahasana, Mahagrasa, very ferocious, and Mahakali, describing her name, Maheshwari, the consort of Maheshwara, Aparna, Chandika, Chandamunda, Nishudhini. Aparna, the one who was fasting, the one who was fasting and doing penance to achieve the yogic powers, Chandika, who became Chandika. Why she is named as Chandika? Because she was the slayer of the demonic forces named like Chanda and Munda, Nishudini, killing them and bringing in all the positivity around us. Coming to the next slide, here we have the root chakra depicted, that is the Muladhara chakra, which I was mentioning, which you can see here clearly, where we invoke the energies. And let us try from day to day, for the days to go ahead, to enhance ourselves by invoking Ma Kalaratri and the deities in the Muladhara chakra to rise the Kundalini, to go ahead in chakra enhancement and become more streamlined, blissful, thoughtful, and successful in our lives. Now coming to today's deity, where we have the 8th day of Navaratri, which is very, very significant as we usually celebrate the Durgashtami and the Saraswati Puja, Durgashtami. And we have the Ashtami deity here in the first slide, which is Mahagauri, Mahagauri, Ma Mahagauri. Mahagauri, Gauri is the deity from which all this Udbhava of all the deities of Navaratri happen. Gauri is incidentally the other name for Parvati, and Parvati, Maha Kailasa Nilaya, and she seated on the holy Vrishabha, Vrishabha being the holy bull, which is Nandikeshwara, Nandi, and having the trident in her hand, and also the Ghanta, Ghantanada, and also in Chaturbhuja form, such a pious form of Mahagauri. See the slide where you can see Mahagauri in such a serene way, blessing all of us, and let us invoke her on this holy day of Ashtami, Mahashtami, where we have Mahagauri to bless all of us. You can see the Damaru also in her hand, rather than the Ghanta, I'm sorry, the Damaru for Mahagauri, which is the one used to make the Nada, just like the Ghanta, both Damaru and Ghanta. And she has the Varada Mudra, blessing all of us, and in such a serene way, seated on the holy Rishabha, Mahagauri. In the Matrika Varna, when all the deities were slaying all these demonic forces from the Sashtya of Navaratri, starting with Mahishasura, and till the end of Mahanavami, where we have the slaying of all the other demonic main forces, including n number of smaller demonic forces, Chanda, Munda, Nishumbha, Shumbha, Rakta Bija, Mahishasura, all this from the 6th day of Navaratri. And that is why from the 6th day of Navaratri, if we have the more Vishesha, the more festivities as Durga Puja, which happens world over. Now coming to the next slide. Here we have Mahagauri, as I had rightly said, who is also having the name and synonym of Uma Shailendra Tanaya. Here we have the Dhyana sloka of Mahagauri, Shwete Vrishabhamarudha, Shvetambara Dhara Suchit, Mahagauri Shubham Dadhan, Mahadeva Pramodhata. Shweta is whiteness, purity, the white holy bull, and herself in white holy Shweta Vastra, the silk of Shweta, which is seen here with the golden borders and having the whole Chandra around her forehead. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Mahagauri Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. Let us invoke her to go ahead because she is the deity of the Panchendriyas, Indriya Swamini. Panchendriya, which is very important. As we had seen in the first classes of Aura, what are the Panchendriyas? Indriya is the senses. Pancha Indriya, the 5 senses in us. The eyes, the ears, the nose, the jihva, the tongue, and the skin, the entire body. The 5 senses which have all the sensory organs. Which are the sensory organs? The eyes and what I mentioned now, which is named as the chakshu. You have the chakshu vikshana, which is the drishti. You see things. You have the nose, which is for the Ghrana Shakti, the smell. You have the ears, Shravana Shakti, to hear. And you have the tongue, the Jihva, for taste, Rasana Shakti. And you have the Twak. Twak is the skin, which is the word for skin in Sanskrit. Twak, where you have the feeling, the touch, feeling, Sparsha Shakti you have. So all these things which the senses imbibe from the atmosphere in a scientific way, getting into us inside the body, where it goes into the chakras, where it goes into the Sukshma chakras, the endocrine glands, create a trigger in them, and the feeling which goes into your mind, giving you the signals from the mind to the brain, the buddhi, and from the buddhi, it gets embedded in your cerebellum, which is the storage of your memories and the past, which according to science, and where it is stored and gets into your Atma, which takes you to the next Janma, where you have these feelings embedded, many of them, and that is why we call Vasana Shakti. So she is the great deity of Indriya Swamini, being an Indriya Swamini, which is a great deity, because as good as chakras, before getting into the chakras, Mahagauri has to be invoked because she is the Swamini of your Indriyas, first of all, to streamline your Indriyas, to receive only things from the atmosphere, from the environment surrounding you in the right way, and not take all the unwanted things inside. just to be selective to what you receive, how receptive you are to what sort of things is decided by Mahagauri if you invoke her, because she is the deity of your Indriyas and Indriya controls. Coming to the next slide. Here again, you can see Mahagauri Durga temple again, which is a Shakti Pita of Mahagauri, is again situated in Varanasi, the holy city. No doubt, all the holiest temples and worship places are in the holy city of Varanasi, where Parameshwara resides in his full form, always chanting the Taraka mantra, Rama Rama, for all the Jivatmas to get the Paramamukti and the Paramalaya. Coming to the next sloka. Here we have Ma Mahagauri to be invoked with these slokas and understanding of the meanings of it. Trayakshari, Trakshari. When you put it as one word, it is Trakshari. It is Trayaha Aksharaha, Trayakshari. Meaning three. Trai means three. Akshari. Akshara is words, letters, syllables. And she is chanted, she is invoked by three letters. What are the three letters? Aim, Hreem, Sreem. That is why we have in Lalita Sahasranama and all the Devi mantras, the beginning with the bijas, the Trayakshara, which is Aim, Hreem, Sreem. Om, Aim, Hreem, Sreem, Sreematraya Namaha. We chant it that way. So Aim, Hreem, Sreem, where it is again, when you decipher the bijas, Aim is Mahalakshmi, Hreem is Mahaparvati, and Sreem is Saraswati. So Aim, Hreem, Sreem, which is the bija of the three Devis, that is the three Shaktis, which are the embodiment of Adi Parashakti, the Parashakti, which is the energy of Trikuta, which came out with all these deities. Trayakshari Divya Gandha, Divya Gandha, the holy Divya Gandha. Gandha is the fragrance, Divya Gandhadya, who is having the holy fragrance, Sindhura Tilakanchita, who wears the Sindhura Tilakanchita, the Sindhura, the pottu, in the front of the forehead, which gives the energy in the Agnya Chakra to invoke it, the Agnya Chakra. That is why in olden days there was a practice and still continues where ladies, even gents, wear it, a pottu, a sindhura here in the mid of your eyebrows, which is the third eye, to activate it, to bring the pineal gland into activity. Uma Shailendra Tanaya. Uma, her synonym, Shailendra Tanaya. The daughter Tanaya is daughter, the daughter of the mountain lord, who is Himavan, as incidentally we know. Shailendra Tanaya Gauri. Again, she is invoked as Gauri, Gandharva Sevita, who is surrounded and worshipped and serviced by all the Gandharvas. Gauri, Gandharva Sevita, the demigods, the Gandharvas. Coming to the next slide. Paranjoti, Parandhama, Paramanuhu, Paratpara. Paranjoti, she is the Paramjoti, the ultimate light, Paramjoti, the ultimate light of enlightenment, because she is the receptor, streamliner of your Indriyas. She is the receptor, streamliner of your Indriyas to regulate to what you receive inside, to get it processed by your manas and the buddhi, and then to reach the Atma Vidya, to get into the right Paramatma. And that is why she is rightly named as Paranjoti, Parandhama. Again, Parandhama, you reach the extremes of bliss. Dhama is the place where you reach the extremes. That is the rightly the ultimate Dhama you reach through her Paramjoti. Paranjoti, Parandhama, Paramanuhu. Paramanuhu, and she is the ultimate Anu, that is the atom inside each Jivatma. Paratpara and limitless Paratpara. Pashahasta, Pashahantri. Pashahasta, having the Pasha in her hand. Pasha to bind us. Pasha is the rope to bind us in the right way and not get diverted from unwanted things. Pashahasta, Pashahantri. At the same time, remover of the binding of unwanted things, unbinding ourselves. Here, a beautiful theory, which rather than a theory, it's a practice. which goes into each one of us each day, which we don't realize when it happens so fast in our fast pace of life, where we have n number of situations, where we have n number of interactions with various people a day in and out, and where we face a lot of situations which are both favorable and unfavorable, and how we handle it. How do we do that and involuntarily without realizing what is happening? Actually, we are doing the technique of switch on and switch off unknowingly. Just think, if you are able to do that in a known way by realizing each second of it, you will really be a very successful achiever of things, both in the materialistic and the spiritual way. And this is what we are going to include, and rather than include, that is one of the major parts in our second level of aura and chakra healing classes. Pashahasta, Pashahantri, binding and unbinding, attachment and detachment, detached attachment and attached detachment, switch on and switch off theory. These are the various names for that, which is very important, which we are anyway doing every day, but none of us are realizing it, how we are doing it, because it has become more involuntary. But when you realize and you do it, you will become more receptive in the right way of streamlining your indriyas and reaching out to the Atma Vidya, which will make you more successful in life. Paramantra Vibhedini. Paramantra, the mantras, that is the mantras here mean Vibhedini is breaking, and Paramantra here means unwanted things outside yourself. Paramantra, here it is not the mantra which is mentioned as chanting mantra. Paramantra Vibhedini, unwanted negativities surrounding you which are broken by her. Coming to the next sloka, Deveshi Dandani Tista. Deveshi. So she is the ultimate deity. Deveshi Dandani Tista. Dandani is her another name. The one who decides, the one who clearly streamlines and corrects and cuts whatever is not required. Giving the, so Danda is the stick to control. Dandani is punishment. It's here rather not the colloquial word in its meaning in itself as Dandani, who is a punisher, but here it means it is the one which means to tell you that she controls and corrects you in the right way, giving you the right streamlining which is required. So she uses the danda. Danda is your, what is the danda here? Indriyas get into your action in a human body or an animal only when you are alive. And when you are alive, here danda means danda is the stick. The stick is in your kundalini, the stick is your sahasrara, which both the chakras to the 1 to the 6 are, standing strong in anyone only through the vertebra, which is the spine, which is the danda, dandani. So she is the dandani. She is the spine in yourself. She is the spine inside each one of us. Dandani tista dharakasha rupini. Daharakasha, beyond the space, beyond the akashas, Dahara Akasha. Beyond Akasha is a space. Daharakasha Rupini, she is beyond. That means she is limitless. Pratibhan Mukyara Kanta, Pratibhan, again, Mukyaha Akantaha. Mukya Akantaha. That means she is the most important Kanta, the light, the the effluence of energies, which is depicted. Pratipan Mukyara Kanta Tithi Mandala Pujita, and she is worshipped by the Tithis, the Tithi Devatas from the Prathama to the Amavasya or Paurnami. So that is the Tithi Mandala Pujita, worshipped by the monthly deities, worshipped by the day deities. So this is Ma Gauri, which we invoke to give us all the receptive energies in the right way inside our indriyas, to take it inside our mind and process it in our buddhi and reach the right way to the Atma Vidya. Coming to the next slide here, you can see the depiction of the Panchendriyas, the sight, Chakshur, the hearing, the Karna, that is the ears, the smell, the Nasika, then you have the taste, the Jihva, the tongue, and the touch, you have the Twak, the skin. So all the Panchendriyas, which we mentioned again in the first class of aura sessions, which is important to receive energies from outside process it in the right way. And to process it in the right way, the danda, the spine which is required to hold our life intact, to get the processing done, because once life is there, just like we say, when the wall is there only, you can draw a picture. When there is no wall or any holding, you cannot draw, you can just mentally draw it, right? So that is where the spine is important, Dandini. So this is what is the importance of Ma Gauri. And the day 6, though Navaratri from the day 1 is very important, but more significantly here, seeing the chakras and things, it is very important that from the day 6 to the 9th day, when Mahanavami is over tomorrow, that is when we invoke the main chakras and the supporting factors for the chakras, so that we are strengthened further to receive all the blissful energies from the divine, and the divine which is again inside.
Did it get stuck?
I think he might have lost connectivity. So maybe we'll give him 1 minute to come back.
Rajesh, in the meantime, would you be able to share this PowerPoint with us after the session?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So you want the PowerPoint? Radhika will be sending the recording. Do you also want the PowerPoint or just the recording or both?
Yeah, because some of the slokas are written right, so it's easier to.
Okay. Yeah, that's be a problem.
Maybe after the entire session.
Yeah.
In the recording, the PowerPoint will be there?
I'm sorry, I think the net connections were again disrupted. I think now everyone is able to hear.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was saying, so being a creation of the Almighty, all of us having the amsha of that, definitely we can easily invoke the energies inside each one of us to become more successful and blissful and achieve the Purushartha with this Navaratri. And so the days being significant, Kalaratri Ma and Mahagauri, together we invoke today and go ahead in our life with all blissfulness and chakra elevations automatically done. Now here I have one more thing to say, that this chakra healing and aura cleansing and auras and the classes of that which we are going to have in the 23rd on, I think it's on the 23rd and 24th as planned, where we will go into more of third eye activation and also the Indriya corrections and also a practical session into it rather than just a theoretical one, as we had gone in the first classes along with the mudras, and a recap of that. And later when we go on for the Karya Siddhi Malavrita, which we are, as I had mentioned in one of these days, where we will go into Karya Siddhi Malavrita for the achievements on a hands-on training to achieve things which are justified, which are required for our materialistic and spiritual enlightenment. We go for a practical course of that, duly discussed later for the dates along with Radhika ji, and make it, and all of you together and coordinate and make it into a real achievement for each one of us in our lives. Any questions here?
The first few classes, I think Rajesh had asked, we had asked like the tone or the meter, how it has to be recited, correct? And Rajesh ji had asked how many times the sloka has to be recited. Now that we are seeing that some of the slokas from the Lalita Sahasram have been put in the slide, correct? Not all of them. So in this Navratri, so should all the slokas have to be recited 3 times, or the ones you're mentioning has to be recited 3 times? That I got confused.
Yes, it's a very practical question. Here actually...
maybe silly, but...
No, this is a very important question. Why? Because here, when you are asking this, when you have seen from the day 1, we have been going through the chakras simultaneously, because I was mentioning from the day one that Lalita Sahasranama is a yogic practice rather than a chanting in itself. So the chakra activations are specifically mentioned in this particular slokas, which we have taken up for the session. And that is why specific slokas were taken rather than from an order of maybe 5, 6 in an order in a sequence. It has
Okay.
been from different areas of Lalita Sahasranama. If you see that, if you go through that, you can see that it's not in a order where
Order.
you have 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, 6, 7, 8. It has been
Correct.
from maybe one is from 31, the other is from 58,
Yeah.
something like that. Why this has been taken is because it was specific to each chakra in an order starting from the Sahasrara. For Keshadi Padam, we here have from the Keshadi Padam, that is from the Sahasrara to the Mooladhara, and then covering up your Indriyas and the vertebra, that is the Danda, so that the entire system is covered with the chakra healing. And that is why this was specifically mentioned in relation to the chakra healing, which is correlated to that. That is the reason we have taken this slokas. And chanting of the slokas 3 times is only for this chakra healing things. The other slokas which you chant in Lalita Sahasranama, you can just go through just chanting them in a normal way, 1 time, whatever it is. Here it is 3 times.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes.
The other thing is, people say, I don't know, I'm confused. What time this has to be general for 1 time Lalita Sahasranam? Is it day or evening you have to chant?
No, I didn't get it. Day or
So,
evening?
Morning chant pannama, like evening. Uruvati Lalita Sahasranam chant pannamna, should it be done in the morning or should it be done in the evening?
You can do it either in the morning or evening. There is no restriction to, there is no mandatory rule that you do it only on the day. You do it either on the day or in the evening. You can do it either way. Only thing is, it is said that when you start, you have to complete it in 1 set. You know, if you start it, you have to go completing it without breaking it. You have to continue because it's a yogic practice. That is why they mentioned it in an indirect way in those days, saying that when you chant it and you break it in between, then there will be some problem. Why they said that is because it's a yogic practice. It's a scientific technique of chakra. You cannot stop the chakra in between. That's the reason they said that. It's
Okay.
not for anything else. But in those days, if you say it in that way only, people will have the fear and discipline to do that. That was the reason.
Okay. And this is not related to Lalita Sahasranam. This is just related to specific this God-related stuff. Turmeric, I think, is for turmeric. If you say turmeric powder, yeah, is from turmeric root, correct?
Yes, yes.
Vibhuti vandu cow dung. When you
Yes. Yes.
what about kumkum? Eppadi varudhu adu?
Kumkum, turmeric and lime. Turmeric and chunambu, lime. Mixture of turmeric and chunambu is kumkum. The original kumkum. Nowadays, of course, you get a lot of dyes, chemical dyes, which are made. That's why you don't. That's why in olden days they used to call it manjal kungumam. Manjal kungumam. Because it was turmeric and lime put together. You mix and see and dry it in the sun. That is the original kumkumam. That is why that is the original sindoor. That is original sindoor, not the one you get nowadays, where it is more of, and it comes in an original reddish this thing, and it doesn't come in this rose and pink and colors, which are all dyes, chemical dyes. And original manjal kumkum is the one which really brings in the third eye activation. You put. And every day, that's why they used to wear the sinduram in the forehead, both men and women, or even turmeric, just like I have put a turmeric tika, you can see here, which where I put the turmeric, because it activates, turmeric specifically activates more than actual kumkum. Turmeric itself activates your, the third eye, and it also has the properties, turmeric, because your skin is porous. That's why it was made to put here, and skin being porous, the content of that, the chemical content, which is curcumin, enters your third eye. Curcumin enters the third eye, which is where the nerve points are there, and it activates, because turmeric has the properties of an activation inside the body. Curcumin. It is a scientific.
You said turmeric plus lime or chunnambu sandal paste? Adalva. Sandal paste.
அது சந்தனம்.
Chandanam.
Chunnambu is lime. Chunnambu, which we
Oh.
use vettala paaka powder when you eat. Chunnambu.
Oh,
Chunnambu.
correct.
Chunnambu enadhu, it's a heat agent. Onnu koncham and ushnatha kodukkum. It gives a little bit of warmth, heat. Warmth is to ignite your chakra, and then only your chakra gets activated.
Okay, got
That
it.
is, at the same time, it should not burn. That's why the turmeric is put into it, so that it gives a balanced warmth to your chakra to improve it.
Okay.
But chalapo chandanamu podom, yeah, to cool down.
Chandanam is to cool down. Adadu balancing act is done there. Chandanam and the kungkumam. That's why they say Chandanam kungkumam Swamiki podu. Chandanam kungkumam pottuko engaradu adnala. It's a balancing act. Moonume idartha regulated activation of your chakra happens.
ஓகே. இன்னொன்னு வந்து அன்னைக்கு நம்ம வந்து அந்த ருத்ராட்ச மாலை பத்தி பேசினோம் நிறைய தேவிஸ், ரைட்? ஸோ when you go to the Rishikesh temple and all, that's where you see a lot of these rudraksha malams getting sold, correct? I may be wrong, but why is that?
You're 100% right.
Why is that they say men can wear but not women? Am I right or wrong?
Actually, these were, as we had discussed in our aura classes, if you recollect, actually
That is not
it is
there. Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, I'm repeating that. Actually, what has happened is there has been a lot of misinterpretations down the line, which have been more partial. I'm sorry here to say that which has been more partial because it has been a male society which has been always promoted. The female society has always been made to, belittle. Actually, because if you see in those days, you have seen Devi Arundhati, you have seen Devi Lopamudra, who was the main person who brought out Hadi Vidya and Kadi Vidya, the Sri Vidya Upasana, and she was the one who initiated Lord Agastya himself to bring to the world Sri Vidya Upasana. So she was a lady, but in all many down the line after the Vedic period, Maitreyi again was a great saint and a Upanishad translator in those days. Transliteration and translation of Upanishads were done by Maitreyi, again a lady. Arundhati was a lady. Vasishtha was this thing. So all these great saints, rather than saints, they were all great ladies who were into lot of practice of all the Vedas and other things. But down the line, the men's society made it in such a way, misinterpreting, saying that only men have to chant mantras, men have to chant Vedas, only men have to wear Rudrakshas. It was not like that. These ladies all wore Rudrakshas. It is only the discipline of how you follow the wearing a Rudraksha, whether it's a man or a female, there is no gender bias. But down the line, it became a more male-dominated society, and that is the reason most of the rules, even the conventional mundane household rules, have been made in such a way where you say a man is the head of the family. Not necessarily. These were all made up.
No, I was only thinking because that day you said that the Rudraksha has a lot of this chemical thing which is very good for the body. So I was thinking, why not women also wear it? That's why.
Women used to wear, women had worn it, lot of saints were there wearing it in olden days and everything. Not only saints, all the normal human beings, normal women also used to wear and practice all the mantras and everything to get the discipline, and they reaped the benefits of it. But then later on, the men's society, they always dominated, and it became a more of a partiality which was done, very frankly speaking. There is no Vedic basis actually to that, but they corrupted the men corrupted the, I'm sorry, I'm not quoting anyone in particular, don't mistake me. But that has been the society and the rule of the day. Unfortunately, in spite of the days becoming so modern and broader, they say in views, but it has gone more narrow in views. I'm sorry to say.
No, I'm not judging either. But when your kids start coming and start questioning, right? So you want to have the proper, valid reasons to give them, as opposed to just going by facts and say, oh, this is how it is to be done.
No, that is the reason I really mentioned this here, and the question was really wonderful, because that is really required nowadays to be clarified.
Clarified. That's true.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Anyone else?
Mama.
I think I have taken more of your time today. I'm sorry that yesterday I couldn't catch up with anyone due to some ill health, and luckily today, by Ambal's grace, I am back to the form. So I think Ambal is great, and let us invoke her with all the energies to bless us in the right way. Thank you, and let us all meet on Mahanavami to bring in Vijaya Dashami and Vijaya Jaya for all our endeavors ahead in our life and for
Thank-
generations to come. Thank you once again, one and all.
Thank you, Mama.
Thank you, sir.